Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up, and you can find more information about the projects that I create and all of the updates and retiring information, and then what's new. All of that will be on my blog as well. And I'll give you guys the blog. Hang on. I'll give you the blog right here, stampingwithheart.blogspot.com. So let me take this down before I forget. So on Friday, we sat down together and went through the retiring items in the annual catalog. And the annual catalog is big. So I didn't want to do both catalogs in one sitting. And I knew I wanted to do a mini catalog retiring items walkthrough before the last chance sale actually starts. And the last chance sale actually starts tomorrow. So today's the day, right? So this is another special edition live, meaning I don't typically go live on Mondays. I don't do catalog walkthrough stuff all the time. This is rare. Usually just if we have a brand new catalog that is launched to customers or if we are retiring a catalog. So if you are coming on to watch live or in the replay, I would love to hear from you. Be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know, if you're interested or you're going to be participating in the last chance sale. I do have some things to go over with you. So we're going to do that first, and then I will switch my camera down to the table and we'll start walking through the mini catalog. So here are a few things that I want to go over with you now, prior to the sale, prepping for a new catalog, all of that lovely stuff. So here are a few points that I want to mention. The first thing that I heard, and this is something that I am going to ask for feedback from you. I'm seeing that there are comments, so I'm just going to switch my screen so I can see that. Hi, Penny. Hi, Margaret. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for watching. So I received a request actually on Friday, or I think it was on the weekend, saying that could I possibly go live on YouTube as well as Facebook? Like, it's called multi-streaming, where I'm live in both places at the same time. And the reason that she had asked me that is because she's not on Facebook. And she said, I want to be able to see all of the information too. So I told her, I would look into it and see what I could do. So here's the question that I want to ask you. I know that those of you who are watching me here, obviously you have Facebook, because I'm live on Facebook right now. This is typically where I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then if we have a special edition live like we do today. Penny is saying morning sunshine from Florida. Oh, that's wonderful. I actually have a family down in Florida, and they have been absolutely loving the weather and fishing and doing all the things. So they're having a good time down there. So what I was saying is I'm going to post this replay on YouTube. And because this is a catalog walkthrough, I will not be editing it. So what gets said and shown here is also going to get posted as a replay on YouTube. So for those of you who are watching the replay on YouTube, would you want to see me go live on YouTube as well? From the research that I have done, there is a cost involved, but I would be willing to do it if that's what you guys want. If you want to see me live on YouTube as well, and I can look into multi-streaming. It will be new for me, but I always appreciate your feedback on that. So just know when you do make a request, I listen, and I do try to accommodate as best I can, because I do want you all to have the information. So typically, I go live on Facebook. I post replays on YouTube. But if you would like to see lives on YouTube, I can see if I can make that happen as well. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the Stamparatus, which was listed as while supplies last, is now showing on our inventory status report as not orderable. So they have different categories. They'll let us know if something's on low inventory, If it's not orderable, which formerly is what we would call like back ordered, and then they'll have a date, like an estimated date as to when that product would be back. Then they have just like discontinued, like we know it's not coming back. And for some reason, the Stamparatus is on not orderable and hasn't actually bumped down to discontinued yet. I'm not sure why, because they've told us that it's while supplies last. So what I want to say to you is, while some of the accessories are still available, as of this morning on the inventory status report, and it changes all the time, it's not orderable. So it might be gone. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. And that was from the annual catalog. But I know that that has been like a big thing for all of us, that we were really surprised to see that going. So I wanted to give you that update. The other update is that our colors, particularly the retiring colors, about half of them, I didn't do like an actual count, but just eyeballing it, are on low inventory. And I think a few colors are on. It might be the ink pad or the refill. It's a little bit different, just depending. Color collections, they're retiring the existing ones because they're going to have new ones in the color collections for the new catalog. So just a heads up that if there are retiring colors that you want to get, I know I sound like a broken record, but if there's something that you don't want to miss out on, I would encourage you to either check to see if it's still there, or place that order so that you can get those retiring colors. Okay. So the sale, the last chance sale, is going to start tomorrow. Some of us like to plan ahead, which is what this is all about. So if you're on my email list, I've already emailed out the Stampin' Up calls them flyers, where it has all of the retiring list information, but they're very small and they could be hard to look at. And just the way that my brain works, and I have to pull product off of my shelves so that I'm not showing you guys something that we don't have anymore. It's an interesting time. That's why we do these sort of special edition lives. So there's that. Now, the other thing that I want to mention, and then we'll switch down to the camera, is that this is a really good time to consider joining Stampin' Up. So, and oh, my April host code, I'll talk about that in just a minute too. I'll show you guys my blog where you can find it. I'm saying it out loud, so I make a mental note. But this is a really good time to join Stampin' Up, and here's why. So demonstrators have the last chance sale tomorrow, but we demonstrators have an opportunity to pre-order brand new product from the new catalog starting tomorrow. So that is a demonstrator only perk. We get to order about a month ahead. So we, like, for anybody who's looking at those new colors and loving them, demonstrators will be able to start pre-ordering that stuff tomorrow. So when you sign up for Stampin' Up, that is one of the things that you can do. You can put pre-order items in your starter kit. You start to see that demonstrator perk immediately. So the way that the starter kit works is that you choose $125 worth of product and you only pay $99. So you save $26 on product and you get free shipping on your starter kit. And you can either put last chance items in that kit or pre-order brand new colors and items in that starter kit if you want. And then once you're a demonstrator, once you've purchased your starter kit, if you place another order as a demonstrator, your first demonstrator order technically, you'll save 20%. So if you want to get those last chance items and an additional discount in addition to the last chance discounts, not everything is on sale, but some things are going to be on sale, then you would get both. So you would get the last chance discount, and then you would also get your demonstrator discount. So on the starter kit, it's the $26 in savings. And then if you place your first demonstrator order, there's a 20% savings on purchases that you make as a demonstrator. And then once you are a demonstrator, you'll have access to something called our demonstrator website, and you can actually look at the PDF for the new catalog. So demonstrators are not allowed to show the inside of the catalog, but as a demonstrator, you would have access to look at it. So we don't share it. You know, that's a thing. Customers will see it when it's either mailed to them or when it goes live on May 2nd. Customers can shop the catalog starting May 2nd. So that's fine. But if you really love, if you're making lists and you're getting ready and you're loving the new colors that everybody's been talking about, or the new in color collections and that type of thing, then you should consider joining because it's a really good time. And if you have any good questions, if you have any questions about that, let me know. I'd be happy to talk about it with you and you can see if it's right for you. I always say, try it, see if it's for you. And if not, you can go back to being a customer. But I just think this is such an exciting time. Now, for those of you who are my customers, I will be ordering annual catalogs tomorrow. That's when demonstrators can start ordering the new catalog. Typically takes about a week for them to get to me. And then I have to pack them up, ship them out, all of that. And that takes time as well. So I'm telling my customers to expect to receive their catalog somewhere between like April 20th and 25th. Okay. But if you don't want to wait, you can join and then you'll get access to a PDF version of the catalog right away. And that's a really great perk. There's a lot of great perks to joining crafty community, inspiration. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. So let me show you my April host code, where you can find it. If you're interested in shopping with me in the month of April, I have a host code that you can shop with. And if you spend 50 or more before tax in the online store using that host code, you'll get a free embellishment from me. Okay, so let me see if I can share for a minute. Excuse me. I have coffee right next to me, so we should be good. Okay, so right here, off to the left, and let me just make sure that you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yes. So right here off to the right, not the left, I'm sorry about that. You should see April 2023 host code, and there's like some pretty flowers right there. So that code, SFUAW2FF, that is my host code. So whenever you click this, it's actually a clickable link. So you can either type this code into the host code area at checkout, if that's what you want to do, or if you use the clickable link, it will take you immediately to the online store under me. It will already have the host code added, and all you do is shop. So just something to keep in mind as all of us are going to be shopping the sale in April. Okay, and that's my blog, stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. So let's see if I can stop sharing. All right, and then now I am going to switch. Let's see. Margaret, I'm seeing some comments here. Let me just read these really quick. It says, "You're awesome. I don't have a preference, but I think it would be great." I can't even read that list I printed, LOL. Marty says, "Thank you for the walkthrough." You are so welcome. I love hearing that you guys actually like that. Can I do that as a demonstrator already? Yeah. So once you're a demonstrator, you can't purchase the starter kit again, but you get that discount, which is awesome. All right. So retiring colors. Just wanted to shout these out before I get into the catalog. So this is the catalog we're going to be walking through today, the January to April 2023 mini catalog. Just to shout out, all images, copyright, Stampin' Up. Anytime you're looking at one of the catalogs, we will go through with page numbers and all of that. But here are our retiring colors. So this is a color refresh year from Stampin' Up, which means our like pillar color collections, brights, neutrals, subtles, regals are having some changes to them. There are, I think, 11 that are going out, 11 new ones that are coming in, and then we have a new in color collection to talk about it as well. So these are the colors. Just offhand, like in my mind, I know that Bermuda Bay is low inventory. Mango Melody is low inventory. I think Blushing Bride is okay. Rich Razzleberry, it was either the ink pad or the refill that sold out. Mary Merlot is low inventory. So just as I've been checking these, that's just something to keep in mind. All right. And then for our outgoing in colors, just a reminder, we had the 2021-2023 in color collection, which is 5 colors. Fresh Freesia is staying. So Fresh Freesia has made its way into the permanent collections, and I know that many of us are happy about that. So these 4 colors are leaving, and I have not been quiet about the fact that I'm so sorry to see Evening Evergreen go. Just for me personally, that's like my top color that I'm going to miss. But these are the colors that are leaving. So Evening Evergreen, Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. So polished pink, the refill is gone. The ink pad is low inventory. And then I think for these two, it's the refill that's low inventory. The blends are gone for soft succulent. And I think pale papaya is okay. And that was just at last check. And just please, I would always encourage you to check on your own. Just double check me, right? Just in case I have something wrong. I do go in and I do try to make sure I'm being as accurate as possible, but you never know. So if you really want that evening evergreen ink pad, type it in, or I'm sorry, the refill, type it into the website, see if you can put it in your cart. If you can, then you can still get it. If you can't, or if you can't find it, then it's gone. All right, so here are the new collections that are coming. And this is just something that I want to shout out right before we get into this retiring catalog. So this is the new in color collection, 2023 to 2025 in colors. Now, the way that Stampin' Up does this is once this goes live to customers, so for customers, you will be able to purchase this on May 2nd, 2023. You can purchase it as an entire collection or you can purchase it individually. Demonstrators will be able to start ordering this tomorrow. So that's one of the reasons why I've been bringing up and mentioning joining a lot. So if you guys have any questions, you can let me know. But those are the in colors. So that will go live to customers May 2nd. It goes live for demonstrators to purchase tomorrow, April 4th, 2023. And then here are those new and returning colors. So again, same thing. Pre-order starts for demonstrators for these colors tomorrow, April 4th. Customers can purchase these starting May 2nd. But if you are starting to make your lists, then you could definitely reference and see which colors you want to get. For me, for example, Bubble Bath and Berry Burst are like at the very top of my list. I'm curious about Lost Lagoon as well. I think I still have my Pretty Peacock, but I have to go look for it. I think I still have Blueberry Bushel, but I have to look for it. So that's what we mean by either brand new or returning colors. These are the colors that are coming into the collection starting in May with that new catalog. Okay, and then the last chance list. Okay, so this is the list that we're talking about that you kind of need a magnifying glass to read, but it gives all that information. This is what I used to reference what is retiring. So here we can just go ahead and start getting into this. So I'm just going to walk through this. And for anybody who is tuning in, because this is a special edition live, there will not be a card project. I plan to go back to my card projects tomorrow. My regular Facebook lives are on Tuesday at noon, and I am hoping to be there. So I should be there unless something comes up. This is a short school week for Connor, I think for many, many people. Spring break starts this week. So for those of you who are having short weeks, I'm excited for you. I know I'm excited for Connor. And Margaret says, I hate that we're losing Evening Evergreen. Me too. Okay, so mini catalog retiring items. It is very typical that suites go when a catalog retires, a suite option. So Country Floral Lane, the suite option is retiring. And then over here, I'm going to try, let me see if I can, hang on one second, you guys. I'm going to try to leave my catalog open, but you might not be able to see both pages. So I'll just try to make a conscious effort to make sure that you're seeing this. Okay, the Country Bouquet Bundle option. Retiring. That means when you purchase these two together. So if you want to save 10% on that bundle option, it's the bundle that's retiring. Okay. And then Country Gingham 6x6 designer series paper retiring. Country Floral Lane 12x12 designer series paper retiring. And again, it is typical that paper will also retire with a catalog. All the designer series papers. The Love for You bundle option, retiring. And I'm going to keep pace here. And if you guys have any questions, just shout them out. I'll either answer them live or in the replay. I have my mini, you guys can't see off camera, my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is like teetering on the edge of this table, and I'm just hoping it doesn't fall and crash. Okay, share a milkshake. The bundle option is retiring. So if you want to save that 10% by getting the stamp set and the dies together, then you want to get this before that retires. So that's why they'll give us a shout out and let us know. The stamp set and the dies are carrying over, but at that point, you won't have a bundle option with those. All right, the opaque adhesive back gems. That's a picture of this right here. They always have an embellishment section in the back of the catalog as well. These are really pretty. I don't actually think I worked with these personally, but they are retiring. So these are going to be discounted starting tomorrow. So anything that you see that is marked down, that markdown price does not go live until the last chance sale starts, which I believe it starts at midnight Mountain Time. Okay, the Love Cats stamp set, retiring. Oh gosh, you guys, this is one of my favorites. You know that this is one of my favorites. If you watch, if this is your first time watching, I am a big florals person. And I thought that this suite was so stunning and actually really large. So the suite option is retiring. So that item number there where you can get everything on this page. All right. Both bundle options are retiring. So there's the two-tone Flora bundle that is retiring. There is the Something Fancy bundle option retiring. And so what that means is the individual pieces will be carrying over. But if you want to save that 10%, then you would need to purchase that bundle option before it retires. And I'll just keep repeating that because I know sometimes it can be confusing. Especially if you're, new to shopping with Stampin' Up or you're new to shopping the last chance sale, but that's pretty much the way that that works. I think that the fine shimmer paper is one of the most stunning papers that I have worked with. I don't know why it just really appealed to me, but here's what I want to say about it. It's going to be discounted. It is a retiring item. That's going to be part of the last chance sale, but the three colors are soft succulent, fresh freesia, and gold. So fresh freesia is a color that's carrying over. Soft succulent is retiring, but for those of you who are doing this for the hobby, you can keep your colors as long as you like. There are a lot of people who collect the colors and use all of the colors and keep track of everything, whether they're retired or not, or keep a stock. A lot of people stock up on these retiring card stocks and ribbons and embellishments. So that is one of those things that I feel like is easily missed. But if you really love these colors, consider that. The Fancy Flora 6x6, that is also going to be retiring, that designer series paper. The bundle option, like I said, retiring. This bundle retiring. So that was pretty much the same thing I said on the other page. All right, so I'm on page 18 now, for those of you who are following along. This is called Lighting the Way. And one of the things that we noticed in this catalog, there were a few changes that they made to this catalog. One was the stamp set and the bundle are now called the same thing. The stamp set, the bundle, and the dies, which makes it so much easier to remember. So personally, I really appreciated that. So here, the bundle is retiring and the stamp set is retiring. But here's one of the other things that changed in this catalog that it wasn't kind of like heavily advertised. I didn't even realize it, if I'm being completely honest with you. This particular bundle and stamp set had two options. You could purchase it in cling or photopolymer. And the reason that I have this starred and it says both is because both bundle options are retiring. So you could choose whether or not you want to cling or photopolymer stamps for this one. And at this point, it's retiring. So when you see those two item numbers here, one says C and one says P, that's because you can order C for cling or P for the photopolymer. So I totally did not get that and did not realize. So I just want to check myself here really quick. Page 18, let me just see. I want to make sure the cling stamp set and the I think the photopolymer one might be carrying over for the stamps. So this is one of those things. Don't quote me. I'll have to double check and let you guys know. But just something to consider. Okay. And you're gonna see that a couple of times throughout this catalog. All right, the Dragonfly Trinkets, retiring. Spring Blessings, retiring, and it's gonna be 10% off. Okay, this is page 21. So here we go again, where we have an option of cling or photopolymer for the Fragrant Flowers bundle. They're both retiring in the bundle option. Now here it says, for Fragrant Flowers stamp set, again, we have a cling and a photopolymer option. It's the cling option only that's going to be on sale. And the dies are also retiring, and they will also be on sale. Okay, so let's see. What about kits? I don't think that the kits are discounted, Margaret. I didn't see anything about kits on the list. Okay, and then here we have the buy the base suite. So the suite option is retiring. This is the one that got away from me, but I know that the bundle option is going away, but individually these items are carrying over. So if you want to save that 10%, which I'm adding myself to that list, you guys, because I adore this set. I really wanted to do a class with this. The designer series paper is going to be retiring, and that one's going to be on sale. That one's fine. Nestled Friends bundle. That bundle option is retiring. Okay. Queen Bee bundle. So, excuse me. Let me grab my coffee really quick. Sorry, you guys. Super dry, like in here today. So the Queen Bee bundle is retiring, and it's kind of hard to see, like it's smaller here when they're doing these little charts, but just know they have larger pictures of the bundles and the dies in the back of the catalog. If you need to see them a little bit larger, you could always go online, plug it in, and check it out. You know, and you can zoom in on the pictures and stuff online as well, which is easy. The Queen Bee dies are going to be retiring and on sale, and they are spectacular. So this is definitely one to check out because, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize all of the independent die pieces. And the way that you can tell is that there's so much detail in them. So these wings are like die cut wings, meaning even though there's a stamped bee right here, if you would want to plug in these wings, you could do that just in the die. Same with this sort of like arched branch. That's stunning. So yeah, that was something I wasn't paying too much attention to. Silly Goose. Again, this had two purchase options, cling or photopolymer. It's the cling that's retiring for Silly Goose. Let's see what we got here. So background stamps, hand-drawn dots retiring, layered stripes retiring. Both are going to be marked down. Okay, and just look at the samples here. Are those fabulous? Look at that. And these are the peekaboo bags for anybody who's interested. Those are the peekaboo bags that you can find in the annual catalog, and those are retiring. Okay, this, I will own this at some point. This is so adorable. I should have gotten this during the first round. I have seen the most fabulous projects from demonstrators with this. You can look this one up on Pinterest, but look at it. Look at the sample cards too. I mean, stunning. Those diorama dies, by the way, you guys, retiring. So if you like that combination, that's from the annual catalog. So this is Sea Turtle. This is carrying over, but just absolutely the cutest thing. I shouldn't even be focusing on it because we're talking about retiring items, but I love it. Okay, Regency Park. This was a really popular suite. This suite option is retiring. Let's see. Petal Park bundle option, retiring. Sentimental Park bundle option, retiring. The adhesive back Milky Dots, these are already gone. Regency Park 6x6 designer series paper. This paper was so beautiful. I actually have this here and I haven't had a chance to work much with it. Maybe I can work with this tomorrow. This is retiring. I love this ribbon. The ribbon is staying, thank goodness. At least I think it is. Okay. All right. Pedal Park bundle. Yeah, we talked about that. So these are just the same bundles, just you can see them larger. Um, I can see that my camp, like, can you guys see, let me know if you can see that, if anybody's still here with me live. This is the On the Farm bundle page. This is page 34. Sometimes my Wi-Fi is a little bit slow. Okay, so On the Farm, the bundle option is retiring. I have to say, 27 dies. 27. Like, oh my gosh, there's so many dies, and that's worth having just for the fact that there's that many. But just in case that wasn't enough, they're going to be on sale. They're going to be marked down. They're going to be part of that sale tomorrow. And then the On the Farm stamp set, which I do believe has been really popular, that is also retiring. And if you guys got that Farm Designer Series paper during Celebration, that was a Celebration only free item you could choose, then you might want these before they go, if that was something that you collected, because they all go together. All right, and then we're on page 35 now. So here is one that I thought was really clever, and I didn't really work with it that much. So this one's called Around the Bend, and it's the cling option that's retiring. So we have two types of stamps. For anybody new that might be watching, we have a cling option and we have a photopolymer option, and it's the cling option that is retiring. Now, this is also being offered as a bundle here in the mini catalog, and the bundle is retiring, both options. So the cling bundle, the photopolymer bundle, the 10% savings options are retiring for that. So hopefully that's clear. But in terms of design, if you like to see something interesting or unique, I think that a design element like this is one of the first ways that people can tell they're looking at a handmade card. And that's just me personally. So I really wish I would have gotten this one, especially now taking a better look at the dies. There's just not enough time. I personally felt like, and this is just me as a demonstrator, you know, when I'm making plans for classes, or if I'm making plans to come on and show you products on a Facebook Live, like I felt like I didn't have enough time with this catalog. I don't know how you guys feel about it. They shortened the time frame on the catalog, so it could just be that I'm not used to it. But there were so many fabulous products in here that I just did not get to show, and I'm excited for new catalogs. You know, I'm excited for the new annual catalog, of course. I just felt like I wish I could have had more time with this one. Okay, so do you know how we have those stamp sets that remind us of the people in our lives? This stamp set reminds me so much of my grandma Hart, who is no longer with us. She passed quite some time ago, but she always had marigolds. She was a gardener. She always had flowers in her yard, and I always, when I see this, I think of her. So this is Marigold Moments. This is going to be retiring and on sale. The bundled option here also retiring, and the dies also retiring and also on sale. So maybe this set wasn't as popular. I mean, look at that card. That is stunning. I think it's so beautiful. And then one of my team members, she was making cards, and her cards were stunning with this set. So I just thought it was, we have a team group on Facebook. So if you were, you know, to join with me, then you would get access to my team group, and we post projects in there. And yeah, her cards were gorgeous. Okay, so this is called Covered in Sunshine. This is retiring. I love how they did that as a tag. So this is a nice opportunity to kind of go back through and look at those samples again before we say goodbye to this catalog. Here are the enamel dot essentials right up here in this corner. They are retiring, and they are going to be on sale. All right, that was page 37, by the way. Okay. All right, so here we go. Way to Grow. So this looks like a scene builder, like a person builder and a scene builder, where you can do different plant options, different people, hair options, which is cool. This is retiring, and it's going to be on sale. I love, love, love these samples. Look, we have to say goodbye to the ovals. We're going to get to that. I'm still sad about it. That's my biggest loss personally from the mini catalog. And it was actually a carryover, but I'm still sad about it. Okay, so Conversation Bubbles bundle. So I had participated in a team group event where it's like just for the people on the team who purchase the class or present. And she had presented Conversation Bubbles. And I will admit to you that I did not even look at this until I saw her projects with it. So I think this is one of those bundles that maybe we don't pay enough attention to. So I did want to just take a moment to say, shout it out. And if you get a chance to look at this, this could be really fun and cool. All 3 pieces here are retiring: the bundle, the stamp set, and the dies. And then for those of you who are new, you see how some of these are in different colors. Like there's like a very vanilla or a cream look to them. That means there are coordinating dies that match that stamp. So you can see all of the dies down here, but it helps visually to see which ones go with which. So that's why you'll see that chart there. So the stamp set is going to be 60% off, which is really incredible. All right. Here we go. Oh, this is Roberta's favorite. My friend Roberta. So this is page 40. Friendly Gnomes is retiring. This was a favorite of mine, which, I make no secret about. I made a ton of projects with this. Lucky Clover. So everything's retiring. The bundle option is retiring. The stamp set is retiring. And the punch is already gone. So the bundle technically is already gone. Okay, Delicate Desert. This was another one I really wish I could have worked with more, especially because the dies were so fabulous. I think the dies are, let me see, before I put my foot in my mouth, let me just double check myself. I think they're staying, but I have to turn to the next page to find out. So the suite option is retiring. If you want to get a look at those dies, that's how gorgeous they are. So this is the bundle option, saving the 10%. Bundle option is retiring. These gold faceted adhesive back sequins, that is retiring. That is a mouthful. And you have all of these different types of sequins that have the adhesive backing, which is so nice. The designer series paper is retiring, and that one is going to be marked down. And the velvet trim is retiring. I don't know why I didn't put an R there, but let me do that. Okay, so that's going to be retiring as well. That's so beautiful. I like Pale Papaya. I don't know. I don't think I gave it enough of a chance. Oh no, I was not telling you. Okay, so the dies are retiring. So I apologize. The stamp set, the dies, and the bundle all retiring from Delicate Desert. These were really beautiful, and they're going to be marked down, so that's cool. To put that one on your list. All right, next page. Kind and Sincere stamp set, retiring. Like an Animal designer series paper. This is a specialty paper, meaning it's gold foil print on one side or silver foil. And then on the other side is just like your regular paper patterns. That's going to be marked down when it retires. And all those markdowns start tomorrow. Ballet Beauty, that is going to be retiring and on sale. The Decorative Borders, that is retiring and going to be on sale. So beautiful. I love borders. I wish I would have gotten that. And just to give you an idea with their samples as to what you can do with those. Taco Fiesta, that is carrying over. So that's exciting. People have been having the best time with this. And this one, I believe, was designed by $1 Million Achiever, Erica Serwin. Yeah, Erica Serwin. But people have been going to town with this set, making the cutest cards. I got one from Roberta. So cute. Citrus, the Sweet Citrus bundle option, retiring. So saving that 10% option is what's retiring on that. Okay, Rain or Shine. This is one of my personal favorites. This one and Fancy Flora were like my 2 top ones from this catalog. And if you guys have a favorite from this catalog, shout it out and let me know. So this is the Rain or Shine suite. The suite option is retiring. The bundle option is retiring. The paper is retiring. And the bundle option for the Easter Bunny bundle is retiring on this one. Here, both bundles are retiring, meaning This was one of those where you had a cling or photopolymer option. They're both retiring for the bundle part. Rejoice in Him is retiring. So let me show that to you. Sorry that I'm sliding that back and forth like that. Are these stunning? Oh my gosh. And this kind of carries, so like these two are from this one. And this, I think, is from over here. Sometimes I have to look at them for a minute to see. But that is retiring. And then here on page 55, Dainty Delight, the bundle option is retiring. Okay. Occasionally Funny. So this one has some pretty great sentiments on it, or if you like to have things for the inside of the cards, this one is going to be on sale starting tomorrow. And then here on page 57, this is one I really didn't look at much. So this is Ginkgo Branch Bundle. You guys can let me know if you got this one or not. This one is going to be retiring all around, meaning the bundle, the stamp set, and the dies. And there will be markdowns with this one for the sale. Okay. Enjoy the Journey. This was like, I think, such a stunning suite. And this might be one of the very first ones that I got because I was just so blown away by the design that they did in theirs. And I have to say, I was not disappointed. I absolutely love this suite. I think I was expecting to like this suite more than Rain or Shine, but because it coordinated with a Paper Pumpkin kit, I just went crazy with Rain or Shine. I did do a class with this one, but it wasn't for everybody. So I'm wondering if I can do that. I have to reach out and see if I can. If not, then I'll have to see if I can make some projects with this before the end of April. So the bundle option is retiring for Greatest Journey. This 3-twine combo pack is retiring. I don't know why I don't have it marked there. Sometimes I mark it in one spot and not the other. So the bundle option is retiring. The twine is retiring. These enamel sticker icons, which you can color with Stampin' Blends, they kind of have like these little tips throughout the catalog. The designer series paper, all retiring. Some of these items are going to be discounted. They are going to be on sale. And again, you can see that on the flyers too. Okay, so this one is Thistle, right? Thistle, yeah, beautiful Thistle. Okay, so this is page 60. The bundle option is retiring. The stamp set and the dies are retiring, and they're going to be marked down 60%. So that's awesome. If that's one that you've been paying attention to. I used to collect a lot of very vintage like patterns and designs, and Thistle was always in it. So if you are like a vintage type of person, or you like certain patterns, I think this is a very popular image for that. Okay, this page we're okay, we're good. And then on this page here, page 62, Loveliest Layers Decorative Masks, that is going to be retiring, and it's going to be discounted for the sale. And then Brushed Bouquet Bundle. So this one's really beautiful. I mean, really beautiful. The bundle option is retiring. The stamp set is retiring. And again, if you see that white backed behind the image, that means there's a coordinating die for it. So both the stamp set and the dies are going to be on sale. Okay, so they're going to be 60% off starting tomorrow. All right, Picturesque. This one, I felt like it got a little bit lost because of the Enjoy the Journey suite. It's kind of that same vein, that same theme. And that's just for me personally. You may have purchased this and not Enjoy the Journey. But this is retiring, and this is going to be discounted. This is going to be on sale. Now this was the hardest one for me personally. Every time there's a retirement list, there's one that just really hurts. In the annual catalog, it was 100% losing the Stamparatus. I was so depressed about that. I'm still a little depressed about it. I mean, it's going to be fine, but I'm sad about it. So here, they had done this like special collection back at Christmas time, and it was called Framed Florets. I can see that my Wi-Fi is low again. I'm sorry, you guys. It should come back in just a second. It was called Framed Florets. So this time, The bundle option is retiring. The stamp set is retiring. And my fabulous dies, the framed florets dies, are also retiring. So these are going to be marked down. They're going to be on sale. I don't know why we don't have ovals available all the time in the catalog, even if they change the size or the design of the oval, just so that we still have ovals in the catalog. That is like my number one thing. So I will put it in the suggestion box. Can we get some more ovals? But for the time being, we're going to say goodbye to those. Okay, warm welcome bundle is retiring. The dies are retiring. Best day retiring. Ready to ride suite retiring. The legendary ride bundle. So these two together with that 10% discount, that is retiring. The adhesive back studs. So that's these here. These are retiring, and I believe, yeah, they're going to be 20% off. So they're marking those down. The paper is retiring. This was really cool paper. So if you guys like to make masculine projects or gender neutral projects or anything like that, this was really cool paper. I happen to really love orange. I love pumpkin pie, and I just don't feel like I see enough with it. So it was really nice that that was sort of one of the accent colors or one of the coordinating colors for this suite. I actually own this one. This one was really cool to work with. So some of those things are carrying over, and then some are retiring. Now this, anybody out there in the world who loves pirates, I just feel like it's a must. It just is. The artwork and the dies on this are stunning. So if you want to save that 10%, all right, then you're going to want to get that bundle option before it retires. But you could get these things individually. This Connor loves like pirate themed stuff. So I was like, I wish I could get that. Maybe in the next round. Okay, beside me, that one's okay. These are okay. All right, so now on page 73 here, 73. Capture the moment is what the caption is, but the enjoy the adventure memories and more card pack and the enjoy the adventure memories and more card and envelopes. So both packs are going to be retiring and on sale, and you can get a better look at them here. So if you are sort of like a project maker or a memory keeper, I know that's what a lot of this is for. Especially the card packs. And then if you're looking for card and envelope bases, it always makes it quicker, in my opinion. So if you're somebody who is short on time, or you're a beginner stamper and you kind of like that pre-printed element, it makes it simpler and easier. All right. And then I think the only thing left to show you, this was that section in the back that I was referring to. Starting on page 76, where if you want to get a better look at those dies, you can see the bundles back here. But I didn't mark everything a second time, so I'm just going to page through this real quick because I'm trying to get to the host sets, which are on the very last page. Okay, so here we go. So on page 90, which is the last page, if you would qualify for host rewards, there are different ways that this happens now, right? It used to be, traditionally we would host a party and you would get host benefit rewards, and you could choose exclusive products as your host reward. Now, if you have an order, right, if you do like an online workshop order, or even if you're just placing a large order for yourself and you reach a certain milestone in party sales, so if you're just individually spending $300, you're going to get that, that 12%. So just depending on what that is, you would qualify for certain host items. They're both retiring. So the paper pack, which was called Flowers and More 12 by 12, and then the At the Pond stamp set, they're both retiring, which the host sets normally do. And that sums up the retiring items in this catalog. So let me just switch back. Okay. I'm always looking in like 3 different places, and it's weird when you're not looking in the camera. So I want to thank you guys for spending some time in the live with me today. The mini catalog is never as large as the annual catalog, so it doesn't take as much time to get through. But both catalogs are actually going to be part of the last chance sale that starts tomorrow. And then new catalogs. So if you have shopped with me in the last 6 months, you will automatically receive a catalog from me, a new annual catalog, unless you reach out to me and tell me that you don't want one. And that's always appreciated. If you don't want one, just let me know, because there is a cost in mailing those. I don't mind doing it, but if you don't want it, just let me know. If it's been longer than 6 months and you want a catalog, please reach out to me. I am going to put like a form out there that people can fill out if they're interested in getting a catalog from me. But I'm changing the way that I send out catalogs just because of all of the price increases, just with everything USPS all around. So that is just something that I wanted to shout out. But if you're brand new and you've never gotten a catalog and you would like to have a catalog, if you don't already have an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, I would love to work with you. So just let me know. I'm happy to talk to you about it. I'm happy to send out a catalog. So I'm going to place my catalog order tomorrow. So if you want to let me know now, that's fine. And I'll also be checking in with people throughout the month. So you'll see more on my email from that. It's going to be a big email month because we've got a lot coming. And my paper pumpkin. So to shout out for the paper pumpkin people, it's April 3rd, so there's still time, but the last day to subscribe to the April kit is April 10th. So just wanted to mention that now because it might get a little bit lost, but I'm hoping to come back around and have a video on that on Thursday. Fingers crossed. I have a plan. If I can do it, that's fine. But spring break also starts on Thursday. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for spending time with me today. And I will see you again tomorrow at noon. Right here on Facebook. And then if you could give me that input, if you would like to see me live on YouTube, I would love to know if there's more than, if there's like, this is something that people have been wanting from me, because I can make that change if that's what you guys want. I know that not everybody is on Facebook, so that's totally understandable. So I appreciate it. All right. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one and enjoy shopping the sale. Any questions, just reach out to me. Bye-bye.